Please be aware that the comments, views, opinions shared on this podcast are not meant to diagnose a medical problem and/or legal problem. If you do have a medical problem or legal problem, kindly contact a professional.
Welcome to An Apple a Day, a podcast, a resource, a community. Share your experiences and learn from others as we overcome barriers and learn to live a happy, healthy life with a disability. Welcome to the community. Here's your host, Jimmy Apple.
Hey, that's me. Welcome to another episode of An Apple a Day. I'm your host, Jimmy Apple. An Apple a Day is brought to you by www.famousapple.com. Famousapple.com is the home site for this podcast. You got a minute? Go over there, check it out. How you feeling today, my friends? You feeling good? You feeling strong? Good, I'm glad. I hope you're feeling better than you did last week. Today we're just doing a slice of the apple. We're doing a bit of the apple. We're doing an apple fritter, if you will. Before we begin, I want to read this one little quote to you. It's by Patricia Buckley, and she wrote, "Someone once asked me how I hold my head up so high after all I've been through. I said it's because no matter what, I'm a survivor, not a victim." That's by Patricia Buckley. That's such a powerful statement, and that should be taped up on all of our refrigerators. We survived. We survived whatever happened to us, whatever put us in this position that we're disabled. We survived it. We're still waking up every day, still function. We may function differently than we did before our accidents or whatever caused us to become disabled, but we still function. And that's important. And it just seems to me sometimes we kind of forget that. And we start having a pity party for ourselves. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen to me. I've seen it happen to a lot of my friends that are disabled, a lot of people that I talk to. I get emails about it. I'd say every week I get at least 3 emails from people that they're having a pity party for themselves about being disabled. And there's nothing wrong with it, but you can't let that consume you. You have to look for a different way. You have to look at things differently because you are a survivor. You're not a victim. And you can't let yourself get into that victim mentality. You know, once you make yourself a victim, once you look at yourself as a victim, then you have an excuse for everything in your world that goes wrong. And nothing's ever going to go right again because you can write off everything as that you're a victim. Your car doesn't start, you're a victim. It's raining outside, you're a victim. You burnt your breakfast, you're a victim. If you want to be a victim, if that's what you want to be, why not just lay down and wait for death to come? I know that sounds terrible. If you're going to be a victim, it's like you're giving up on life. But see, now I'm here to tell you, you're not a victim anymore. You may have been a victim at one time. Maybe you were a victim of an accident that put you in the position that you're in. I was a victim of a car accident at one time. I know somebody else that was a victim of a fall, but that was years ago. You have a disability because of it, but that doesn't make you a victim anymore. That makes you disabled. So that means now you pick up your life and you go on with it. You go on with your life, and now you have to just make some changes on how you go about that. But you know what happens is we get stuck. We get stuck sometimes, and we can't see that we still have good things in our life. And right now you're saying, yeah, okay, we have good things in our life. I can't use my arm anymore. I got a buddy of mine right now in the hospital that he can't use his left arm. He may never be able to use his left arm again. He got hurt on the job. And right now he can't see anything good about this. He can't see anything good about this. And the fact of the matter is, there's nothing good about not being able to use your left arm anymore. But there's still good in his life. There's still things that he's going to be able to do that, he's not going to be totally out of it. He's not going to be left in a box where he's just breathing. His life is going to go on just differently. And that's the same thing for all of us. Our life goes on differently. No matter to what extent we're disabled, our life goes on differently. I'm going to give you some homework to do. I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to write down all the bad things in your life right now. All the bad things. Here, I'm going to use myself again as an example. I'm missing a leg. I have to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. I had 2 heart attacks. I've had 3 strokes. I can't walk. I can't go skiing. I can't ride a motorcycle. These are all things that I used to love to do. Well, skiing not so much, but riding a motorcycle, I love riding a motorcycle. I can't cut my grass. I love to cut my grass on my ride-on tractor, but I can't do that anymore because the pedal's on the left side. It's kind of hard to hit the pedal when there's nothing there to hit it with. But I can't do that, so that's on my list. So you know what? Now I have my list all set. I'm sure you can add 10, 20, 30 things more. But take that list, look at it, read it, crumple it up, and throw it away. That's right, throw it away. Now I want you to take another piece of paper, and I want you to write down all the good things about your life. And again, I'll use myself as an example. I'm alive. I'm breathing. I have my wife. I have my kids. I have my nephew, who I love dearly. I have my in-laws. I have my sister-in-law, who like a sister to me. She's not like a sister-in-law. She's a sister. My brother-in-law, just like a brother. My buddy. He's more of a brother to me than my own brother was. But I have these people in my life. I have my computer. I do this podcast. I talk to people on a regular basis. These are all good things in my life. So you know what I do now? I take this piece of paper with all the good things in my life, I fold it up and I put it in my wallet. And I save that. And when I start feeling bad for myself again, I take it out and I look at it. And I think to myself, you know what? I still do have it pretty good. And there's times where I take my list and I add to it. I sit outside, I'm out in the fresh air. I still drive. Believe it or not, I still drive. I have a minivan that I drive. This way I can put my wheelchair in the back seat, in the back of the minivan. But I still drive. There's so many things. If you look, there are positive things in your life, and you have to appreciate them. You have to appreciate the people around you. You have to appreciate what you have. You know, it's easy to focus on the things that you don't have anymore. It's so easy because those are things you enjoy doing, a lot of it. For instance, myself, I love working in the yard. I used to look forward to getting onto my lawnmower. That was my private time. I could get on my lawnmower and be out in the yard for hours and be lost in my thoughts, driving around and just taking my time. And when I was done, I was proud of the work that I did. I look forward to it. I can't do it anymore. But you know what? I've replaced it. I replaced it with a podcast. I replaced it with going on the computer. You have to move forward. The things you can't do, you have to put behind you. And you'll find that you enjoy the new things that you can do. You'll enjoy them. And you just have to give it a chance. You have to forget the things that you can't do. You have to put the negative behind you. You have to throw it out and just focus on the good. One more thing you're going to have to remember. Life is not that serious. I mean that. You have to remember, you have to be able to laugh. And I mean that. Laugh at yourself, laugh at the things around you. Be happy. It'll make such a big difference in your life. You have to remember to laugh. Remember how to laugh. And don't take things so seriously because they're not as serious as you think. Because in the very end, you're going to look back and you're going to say, what was I so worried about? Why was I so concerned about this or about that? Enjoy life, no matter what. We have a disability, so what? You can still enjoy life. And that's the most important thing. All right, my friends? Oh, look, we're going to discuss this more on Friday, along with a couple other topics. We got a good one for you this Friday coming up, and I want to make sure you're there. So do your homework, and remember to laugh. Very important. And always remember this. Things can always be worse. No matter what, things can always be worse. Right now, someone, somewhere, is wishing they were in your position. Remember that. Okay, my friends, I will talk to you on Friday. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great day. And I'll see you then. You've been listening to An Apple a Day. My name is Jimmy Apple. And remember, laugh.
Thanks for listening to An Apple a Day with Jimmy Apple, your gateway to a happy, healthy life. Join our community at www.famousapple.com. See you next time.